Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adibimpe Omutayo.
What is it about green this week?
I don't know. Adebimpe is all green today.
Yesterday was Abimbola.
So maybe tomorrow.
Abimbola the guest.
Do I even have green?
Maybe you dye your hair green. I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe we're seeing a better Nigeria ahead of,
The land is getting greener.
It's getting greener. We just do hope that it will translate to good things for Nigerians, because honestly, I think, by the day things are just getting uneasy. This fuel situation is gradually creeping in, and things are getting more expensive. A lot of people are complaining. So again, we don't know where this will end, and yet we still have some people not saying the truth. President Donald Trump still claiming that there were talks, and Iran is saying how, where, when did we talk, when did we speak with you? I really do not even understand where this is going.
I remember the days of this information minister then, who was an apostle of propaganda, Ofunagoro.
Walter
Ofunagoro. I think
Donald Trump. They
that
have
is what
the
he is.
same
Why would you come before the world and lie?
And say that you are at a point of agreement.
Oh, is he getting tired?
Is this his first time of lying? Is it
Obviously. So there are diplomatic ways of approaching this thing. If Iran doesn't want to talk to you, there are probably people Iran would want to listen
Exactly.
to. Can you come down from your
them.
high horse and talk to those people? Perhaps they can also have a talk with Iran, because Iran will not want to talk with either US or Israel. So talk to people who are willing to help. But no, you're still saying you're agreeing. Agreeing what? Where? How?
Abimbola read something very genuine this morning, and I was at a mall yesterday and had some people saying that there is every possibility that the medications that they used to buy at a price might increase, school fees, because schools will be closing very soon, and a whole lot around the increase in the price of PMS and how it's going to affect Nigerians. And then when you look at their purchasing power vis-a-vis what is happening, how people are going to survive, I really do not know.
Maybe go back.
But Nigerians are very tough. We are very tough.
Stop saying
We
these
get to a
Nigerians
point,
are
and it's
tough.
getting to that point.
Look at your faces.
Powder
glowing.
and light.
Look at the way you are dressed.
Adebimpe and I should not
With all
even
the
start complaining to you how much our powder costs. And it to get to a level where Boya will start using mud. But honestly, I'm sure maybe at some point in time we'll probably have to go back to the days of COVID. When hybrid will probably be the order of the day. Because at how many days in a week do you want to survive? Either buying fuel or taking public transportation. It is Herculean and it is killing.
Abimbola. And, what baffles me is the fact that nothing concrete is really coming from government.
Nobody's even saying anything.
Nothing is happening.
Yeah,
And all I see is politics. The governors are not saying anything. They are not bothered.
I think only your state governor.
But no. That was quite impressive. 10,000 naira.
Yes, 10,000 naira for civil servants. I mean, so it's not even a promissory note. He said he will do this. It might not be much, but the empathy says a lot about the fact that you care for your workers and you feel their pain. So if tomorrow he says, well, even with the 10,000 naira, work 3 times a week or come three days in a week, I mean, that shows that you care. But how many governors will toe that path? Abi, is it because he's an orphan? He's a PDP governor.
Well, even if he's an orphan,
he's not an orphan.
He has done something very, very, very
There's one more
impactful.
governor, okay?
And what these governors will
But you're not calling him my brother now. It is when he does something
But I commended him.
But you're not
Engineer Seyi Makinde,
you're not calling
what you
him
have
my
done is
brother.
commendable. Your brother has done something very commendable.
Thank you.
And Adebimpe, what's like you rightly pointed out, what some of these governors will bring to campaign ground is what I want to see.
I'm waiting for.
Because now Nigerians are suffering. You are busy doing politics.
You'll be amazed at what their campaign slogans will be. They will reel out the things now, and you'll be wondering, how did we get here?
Joy is coming. Change
This
is
light
coming.
issue is the major one
The
for me.
light issue is, I don't think anybody will even campaign with it because there's no point. There's
light.
no point. You can't campaign. That what? Let's move on. Let's take
I
our next
hope,
point
I
for
hope
today.
either Abimbola or Adebimpe, you are not planning to travel out very soon.
To where now?
Ticket is crazy.
No, to where now? Let my visa expire. Me lobby coco. I'm not even. You can't even. What did you say?
I
Yes.
went.
Let's take
I
our
left.
news
I
point
left
for
the
today.
WhatsApp group.
That group has been closed.
Well,
Let's take our news point. All right, Ajibola, let's start with you.
all right. Middle East war may force Nigerians to work from home. Dangote. Chairman and CEO of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has warned that the ongoing Middle East crisis could force Nigerians and other African countries to adopt COVID-era work-from-home restrictions if the conflict does not de-escalate. Dangote gave the warning on Monday after meeting with President Bola Tinubu at his Ikoyi residence in Lagos, expressing deep concern about the economic impact of oil price volatility on the continent. The industrialist stated, if this thing doesn't de-escalate, normally we in Africa, we don't have any reserves in terms of savings. And so many people normally go out and look for money for the next day or for even the same day. Some of them, if they don't work that day, they won't eat. It cited Indonesia's response to energy crisis pressures, where authorities asked workers to operate only 4 days a week and are considering full work from home arrangement similar to the COVID-19 pandemic. In some countries today, what they have done, they ask everyone to work from home because they cannot afford it. I think Indonesians also go to work 4 days a week, and they will look at the situation. If it doesn't improve, they will ask everyone to go home and start working from there. We will do like that time of COVID where people will work from home, Dangote stated. The billionaire businessman warned that Africa will pay a disproportionate price for a crisis in which the continent has no involvement. This is not only energy or oil. Some people will try and take a chance and say, this is an opportunity to make more money.
Exactly.
So if this thing doesn't de-escalate, it is going to keep going up, and government cannot really add up to salaries. So people will really, really feel the pinch, he stated. Dangote emphasized that the crisis will hit hardest at ordinary Africans operating small businesses, civil servants, barbers, bread sellers, and industries dependent on generators for power. People who are barbers, people who make bread, people who have industries, who have to pay for their own generators. You can see what is happening, he said. And it's calling on government and Nigerians to pray for intervention, no matter how small. And this is the reality of our time, rightly pointed out by the billionaire, Dangote, saying that Africans and Nigerians would really, really suffer if this war should continue. And, he cited some small and medium-scale enterprises, barbers, welders, bread makers. He also included civil servants. And, he's not sure how we are going to survive, and is calling on government to do something very, very urgent to address this crisis, which we don't know when it's going to stop.
Well, two things I could deduce from Dangote's outburst will be the facts that, number one, is silently warning that he doesn't have control. So if, the refinery from time to time increases the gantry price of fuel,
He will have to.
my hand no
It has nothing to do with
That
him.
is why what he has said here silently. And then the second one, which is the biggest, is the fact that majority of Nigerians, how many people are civil servants? Majority of Nigerians survive on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Nkota and kpalanje. So if people don't work on a daily basis, they won't eat. It is just a few number of people that will go to work and then will collect their salaries at the end of the month. Majority of Nigerians, it's wojo. It is per day. So those kind of people, how? If they don't go out, how will they survive? So if we're planning that, all right, let's go back to the days of COVID, it's workable. But how many, if you take the number of people that might not necessarily need to go to work every day, if you put it on a percentage level, how many percentage of Nigerians?
Abimbola is going somewhere else this morning.
No,
and, you know, those vital issues
I mean, it's the truth.
that you have raised. Even when these bread sellers or barbers, when they go out, what is the value of the money
Money they're getting.
that they're going to make?
And that was
Ajibola,
why
during
the
COVID,
billionaire,
wives learned how to barb hair. They were helping
they
their
were
husbands
barbing their
and
husband's
children,
hair and their children and
Shebi,
their
if you
son's
can't
hair.
go out, how will you go to barber's place?
That's true.
Hey,
That was
It's
when
easy
my
for
husband
those-
bought balding machine. Fadon, no barber.
Anyway, I also like the fact that the billionaire,
Hey.
the billionaire mentioned
Me, I
that
cannot follow.
You will carry your bush like that. You will carry
But
your
that's
bush
his signature,
around.
his
Eh,
afro.
now, he will carry his afro like that. Or you start,
and you keep patting it. You keep patting it.
you'll be tying scarf.
Okay, just
Hey.
before we move
And-
to the next story, I like the
But this
fact
thing
that
is, it's not a joke. Oh.
I like the fact that the billionaire mentioned that some people will see this as an opportunity
To make money.
to make money. And when Abimbola said yesterday that why is Nigeria topping the list of most expensive when it comes to buying fuel? Yeah.
So many things surrounding this particular issue. Let's move on. Let's take a second story. Terrorists bomb Niger bridge to slow down troops operation. Suspected terrorists on Monday bombed a bridge along Luma Road in Borgu local government area of Niger in an attempt to disrupt the movement of troops in the ongoing counter-insurgency operation. The Daily Trust gathered that the incident occurred at about 2 a.m. Sources said the affected bridge links the Luma, Babana and Agora communities, which have experienced repeated attacks in recent times. Residents also noted that the destruction of the bridge has disrupted activities at the Babana major border market held every Monday, as many traders were unable to access the area. Spokesperson of the Niger State Police Command, SP Wasiu Abiodun, confirmed the incident. He stated that the attackers, believed to be operating from the Kainji National Park, used an improvised explosive device, RED, to destroy the bridge. According to him, and I quote, on 23rd of March 2026 at about 6:30 a.m., a report was received indicating that earlier at about 2 a.m. the same day, suspected terrorists from the park forest used an explosive device to bomb a bridge along Luma Road in Borgu local government area. The bridge was damaged in what appears to be an attempt to undermine security operations in the area. Monitoring continues while clearance operations have been intensified. End of quote. Residents said the explosive device was also suspected to have been planted by the bandits. The police spokesperson, okay, this is another incident that the newspaper reported. That's the thrust of the story. And the question that would come to mind is, sometimes it feels like these bandits are more proactive. They are more calculated. And they carry out their own, I don't know if
They're strategic.
Yes, they are strategic in their plans, and they go ahead to do whatever it is that they need to do. Imagine these guys bombing a bridge at 2 a.m. because they know that they were coming over to them. But again, when you look at things like this, you ask, is that the only way they could actually get to them? How about aerial bombardment? So why bomb a bridge? Because you think that that's the only way that it can get to you. Well, according to them, maybe to slow down attacks. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you might also need that facility. But again, I don't know. Sometimes when things happen, you just look at the best way out for you at that particular moment, not knowing that at the end of the day, you might end up even trapping your own self as well. Because it's a pathway to the communities. And so if you think that you don't want the security agencies to come to you, if you also want to escape, Uncle,
How would you escape?
how?
You see, sometimes I find it difficult to understand the thinking of these terrorists.
You can't get into their minds because
This
you are
problem
not
of
one.
insecurity that we are fighting as a country is beginning to take some kind of dangerous dimension. Imagine what it takes to bomb a bridge. Ha. Okay.
We'll be fine. Let's take your story. Are you still here? Are you still here?
She was lost in that
I'm
story.
just, I'm just wondering what kind of country. If it's not energy, it's
Honestly,
fuel.
we're enjoying
if it's not fuel,
Lagos.
if it's security. We're dealing with so many things at the same time. Anyway, some cherry news from Lagos, as usual. Lagos government partners firm to digitize schools. The Lagos state government has initiated plans to partner with two private firms, KELF Consult and ClassBox Educational Hub Limited, to boost the use of digital devices and tools for teaching and learning in the state-owned schools. By the partnership, KELF Consult will equip the secondary school students from junior to senior class with requisite knowledge and skills in areas such as computer programming, web designing, cybersecurity, and data analysis. ClassBox will provide teachers with a customized digital device and tools embedded with useful learning materials. Well done, Lagos State. Sorry, I don't know. This news happening in Nigeria has really dampened my spirit. But well done, Lagos State, for for the cherry news all the time. Well done.
Yeah, like you said, well done to Lagos State. And of course, we know that Lagos is also very particular about education and the lives of, the children, and how to also advance whatever concerns them. So we'll continue to say kudos to the Lagos State government, especially Mr. Governor and all his ESCO members. All right, let's go into the X platform this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories there on the X platform this morning. Well, from that platform this morning comes the report that there was, of course, would I call it a raid or an attack on the residence of the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. You know, before yesterday, I even thought he had not perfected his bail conditions, because
yes.
of the amount of money that was involved. But then, from what we saw yesterday, it is not yet Uhuru for Malami, most definitely, on this particular situation. It just means that, there's more trouble for him as the days go by. But I think as much as, is an individual, the EFCC also needs to play by the rules. They also need to follow all of the stipulations. You can't break your own rules, or you can't break the laws of the land. So if you're actually going into somebody's private residence, there actually needs to be a warrant of arrest or a warrant to search, that place. So if questions are asked in that regard and in that manner, you must be able to show your proof that indeed you have a warrant
to search
the residence, and or to carry out any lawful activity within that residence. So I think our law enforcement agencies and officers must also bear at the back of their minds that whatever we do, we must always come out with clean hands. Like they say, he who must come to equity must come with clean hands, and not just allow for people to think that there are sinister moves in everything that you do.
Malami is beginning to speculate that, excuse me, all these attacks is politically motivated, and I hope that in his mind it will also flash back as to how he behaved when he was in power. Power is temporary. You won't be in power forever, even if you're a permanent secretary. So when you are in power, mind what you do with it, because the table will turn one day. And that is what Malami is experiencing today. He's crying foul, he's crying for help. He's saying that, I felt for him when he was addressing that EFCC officer that, do you want to disgrace me?
What is disgrace in this matter?
Now, why would you send such a person? Is it about...
This was somebody that was once powerful.
About the personality of the person that was sent to him, or the status, or the rank?
Well, no, he was an officer.
Of course,
of the law.
Of the law.
Even if he was a junior officer, he was sent there by his organs. It's a long thing, and of course, it's still going to be a long journey for Abubakar Malami. In all.
His own journey is long. Hey,
That's
the Israelite journey for El Rufai.
different strokes, honestly. Anyway, you can go on the X platform this morning to take a further read on why Abubakar Malami is trending this morning. We'll take a quick break. When we return, another conversation we'll be having this morning. This time round, hopefully, a lot of Nigerians will have a better understanding of what we're up against, especially as the war in Iran is not, the end is not in sight as soon as possible. But as a country, how exactly, where are we? Because I know that what we're going to talk about this morning, Ajibola and I asked ourselves, are we even producing enough as a country before we start talking about reserves? You know, Dangote also talked about reserves in that statement. So this morning we'd like to take a look at, you know, how do we begin as a country to put our house in order and begin to look at oil reserves for the average Nigerian? Because again, it looks like we are heavily dependent on importation. That conversation is after this break.